virtual collaboration. Very important is teamwork. Previously, 20 of us could sit in a room, sit there for 4 hours, take a decision, and move on. Now, there are 20 of us in 20 different time zones or very different time zones working from home. Unless we learn to collaborate without physical presence of each other, we will not be very, very successful. So virtual collaboration plays a very important role. Similarly, the work is so distributed that one person is not able to finish the task himself or herself all the time. So teamwork plays a very, very important role. Now, again, the same thing brings in me to the next topic, next point, which is adaptability. And adaptability, we will use adaptability across the changing work environment. So as the work becomes virtual, the other important thing is it becomes more and more important for you to have empathy and business ethics, because in the changing pandemic world, your co-worker may be going through a different level of stress than you yourself, or the office may be going through a different level of stress. Again, since you're working so independently outside of an office zone where there is nobody necessarily watching you for the 8 hours that you're in office, business ethics will play a very, very important role. Empathy will also play a very important role. Moving on to the next one, which is gig workers. Remember, it's very important for us to pick up some very specialized skills as we get into the next 10 years, 15 years. We need to be strong in our management domain, yet within the management domain, we need to pick up 1 or 2 skills which are very, very important to us, which we are very, very good at. It could be digital marketing, project planning, enabling Internet of Things, capital raise, operations management. But it's very important that we have at least 1 or 2 specialized skills so that companies can depend on us to say, okay, there is a digital marketing project, let's reach out to Praveen Arora. He's the right person for a digital marketing project, or any of the other skill set. Moving on, as we get more and more data-driven decision making, you will definitely need a lot more data analytics. You will definitely need a lot more digital literacy, and you would definitely need a lot of computation thinking. Remember, the decisions will be taken by a lot of data now. Unless you're comfortable with data, unless you're comfortable with your ability to get data insights, you will not be able to handle the tech-enabled decision making. Internet of Things. Your entire production can be running on an automated, robo-enabled machinery without any human being or 1 or 2 human beings. All the machines are connected to the main server through internet, through sensors. Unless you're familiar with these technologies, which is Internet of Things, which is how digital communication is happening, how things are coming to you, how data is coming to you, you will struggle to be a good manager. Lastly, as we get into more and more global supply chains, you will need to know more and more about international economics. You will need to know more and more about cross-border trade. I may not want to get supplies only from China or only from Nepal or only from India. I should be familiar with if this product is available in Europe, in Vietnam, in China, in Australia. What are the prices that the product's available at? What is the advantage of buying it from the other country? So on and so forth. So you will need to get much more broader knowledge of the domain that you're working on. If you're working in tire industry, you need to be familiar with where the tires are coming from, where the rubber is coming from. It may not all come from India. It could come from lot of different countries. So you need to be more versatile in a globally connected world. And lastly, with the way the uncertainty and flexibility that is desired in the workplace, unless you are curious and unless you are economically aware, you would struggle to adapt to the changing world. So these are skills which are basically very, very different from the skills that we graduated from. When I graduated from, we were good in marketing, we were good in finance, we were good in human resources, And we learned a lot of things in the corporate in a manual environment. I remember we used to have a pager, a digital diary. We used to note down our things. We used to do analysis on paper or simple Excel. Today, with the computation power available, I mean, this mobile is more powerful than the computer that was there on the moon lander. The moon lander computer, which is 1969, what landed on the moon, had a computer that was less powerful than the computer on this mobile. And that's the computation power that you have. And that's the computation power that you will all have. So you'll need to build up a lot of data analytics, data insights, ability to work on different environment, ability to be flexible as you move forward to 2023, 25, 27, 2030. Moving on to the next slide. Ashish, would you like to add anything here?
I think one way to think about, and I know, if I'm a potential, if I'm looking at all of this and I can get pretty confused and say, so, this just seems like a long list of things to know. Are these the only things? I think to simplify it for everyone, there are two types of things you need to focus on. One is, in whatever area you're working in, obviously there is more data, there is more technology, there's more information. And so, is your program preparing you, or is your education preparing you with the skills to deal with the functional side of it? I think the other side is more personal. As a worker and a potential leader, you need to develop, and I think your programs need to equip you with a different set of skills, personal capabilities, personal strengths, which become important in this environment, whether it is teamwork, whether it is critical thinking, whether it is, the ability to quickly adapt and be flexible, demonstrate that you are dependable and that people can trust you even when they can't see you, right? So these are very personal capabilities. And I think more and more, I also do a lot of interviews when I recruit people. And I must tell you that today, more than ever, when recruiting, these are things we focus on. Has this person learned the value of trust? Has this person learned, how to deal with people who may have different work styles, right? Learning those and a program which prepares you for those becomes extremely important. So you can look at it in just two buckets to simplify this for yourself.
So moving on to the next slide, Chitradya, what does Pinnacle MBA bring to you, and how does Pinnacle MBA provide you all that skills which is needed as you move forward? If you look at it, we have a very, very strong curriculum of core management skills. We have a very strong curriculum which is delivered by industry faculty and academicians. About half of our courses in the second year are delivered by guest faculty from the industry, which is, I have been in banking, so I have been delivering a couple of courses. I've spent 25 years in banking before I've been engaged on a more longer role with JKLU. We have Debraj, who was the CEO of a large agency, who takes a course. We have people from Oracle who take course on digital marketing. We have people from industry who take course on entrepreneurship. We have Ashish himself who comes in and takes a few sessions. We have whole host of industry faculty to deliver specialized courses, which are core courses. And the advantage that the industry faculty brings to you is we bring in our experience, our real life experience. We share what works in the real life, in the business environment, what has failed for us. In addition to that, we have a very, very strong academic faculty as well. We have a whole host of PhDs who teach you human resources. We have a whole host of PhDs who teach you marketing, economics, finance. So it's a combination of academicians and the industry faculty. So we make sure that our core management courses are as strong as you can get them anywhere in the country. The next thing that we move on to is we are very, very clear that the world's changing. Now, we are not a digital online MBA. We are actually a focused offline classroom MBA. as soon as COVID situation eases, we would love to have our students back in our campus learning from us face to face. So what we've done is every curriculum is curated, and there is a whole host of digital content that is added to the core curriculum. Now, for example, when I'm teaching you sales and channel management, I will also teach you Salesforce. I will also teach you Zoho CRM. I'll make you aware of what actually happens in the outside world. When I am teaching you digital marketing, we will make you familiar with Google digital marketing, Facebook marketing, LinkedIn marketing. So the digital is embedded in the core curriculum. We are making sure that 70-80% is core fundamentals, theories, 20 to 30% is actual digital tools which are used in the outside world. So when our graduates go out to the corporates, they are ready. They don't need to be trained. They're familiar with the digital tools that are happening on a day-to-day environment. And lastly, we provide a great facility to our students to experiment and learn, because all that, you cannot do all that unless you have the actual ability to do things, simulate things on your own. So we have an IMA business lab where you can actually simulate the entire business case. We have a startup studio. We have had a few startups. We have incubated a few startups, and 3 startups are live. And one of our very, very strong domain, and we take a lot of pride, is we have a domain on communication and critical thinking. We have a set of faculty who make sure that every management graduate undergoes 6 courses in communication and critical thinking. We make sure that we enable you with ability to think differently. How do you communicate effectively? How do you use storytelling in business? The faculty, this center is a center of excellence, and we actually take pride in the center. Ashish, you would want to talk more about this on the soft skills that we develop to our graduate students.
Sure. I'll just say that these are, it's I think wrong to call them soft skills. I think they are the hardest skills, and they play the most critical role in one's success. I mean, we think when we are studying, we think that what will help the most is the subject knowledge that we have gained. Reality is that what matters the most is the communication, critical thinking, collaboration, what we call 21st century skills that we have acquired and that we are able to demonstrate at work. And this is even more important for MBAs, because as an MBA, one is expected to work across different functions, work with people, soon enough start to manage and lead other people, and therefore for one to be a good solid leader and a manager, these skills are even more important. So I think the whole idea is that the video talked about a human plus professional, right? I think that is really what we aim to help our students develop into, that they are the MBA plus professionals who do have the core management capability. They have done the core management courses like any other school, but they are also taught how to, and they have experienced how to use digital enablers to leverage in each one of these courses, and they are provided an application environment where if you've already done something, then when you go out to the world of work, then you don't feel because most of the things that you are going to do, you would have had some experience of doing it already. And therefore it becomes easier for a student to perform well when they are in an actual environment. I think the internships, again, we should talk about that, because the emphasis that we have on internships again play a very, very important role in ensuring that the bridge between knowing something and being able to apply something is well, managed. So that's all I had to add.